Scrappers. Let's go, Scrappin. That's a nice start.
Let's see, I have this one. And hopefully I don't cause an avalanche here. Okay, this one. It's been a while since I did a scrapping video. Figured I'd clean these up. The problem I have here is I don't have electricity. I have to go around the other side of the building. But these are worth it. I bought a new toy, little angle grinder. I have a circular saw that I put a metal cutting blade on, and a circular saw works real nice. What I'm gonna do with these guys is something just fell over. Oh shoot, that's a nut driver. Bummer. I have to take a screwdriver, nut driver to this one, and loosen these ACRs up from here. There's a screwdriver on that one. I have to go back in here and get my nut drivers. I'm gonna loosen it up, and then I'm gonna take the grinder and take off these ACR ends here. Okay, now we're in business. Let me see what nut driver this is. This is the product of Scavenging as well. If you notice, some of these nut drivers don't actually fit in here, but it's like a half. I think it was these 3 gray ones, and then I filled in the rest. Nut driver. Like this guy. I think this is the one I kept on my bike for a long time because it's like a real standard size. Yeah, that's it. This is like the size you'll see on dishwashers, and like to take the dishwasher motors off. And I don't know what size that is, but that's a real standard size for a lot of things. Of course, it's got pointy. I never understand that. Why they put pointy screws on some of this stuff. There's no need for it. Except for to pop people's tires when you don't pick them up, I guess. My tires included. Okay. So I'm just gonna zap all these off here. It's actually a pretty easy thing to do, as long as they're not frozen on there. This one seems to be pretty loose. I used to take my snips when I first started doing it, a long time ago. I really needed the money before the days of YouTube and that kind of stuff. When I first got into scrapping, I would take all these pieces of copper off of here with my snips, just sit here and go like this. But I'll get to that later. This right here is actually a real nice chunk of copper, so that's definitely worth it. Nice chunk. Okay. I don't have to wrestle any frozen screws, that's good. There's a lot of them on this one. I'll tell you what, I really put some screws on it. I'll show you where I'm at here. That's why I really don't do things with power tools. I know I get a lot of comments when I bring out my utility cable cutters and all my hand tools. People say use power tools and stuff, but I'm really not set up for it. Now it's scrapping. I'm gonna make a bunch of noise. Now it's scavenging, you know. I've just always use hand tools. A little slower, I guess, but finally broke down and bought one, guys. I would actually, I do have a circular saw. I've always wanted to get one of these grinders. I'm gonna maybe this winter get some nice electric motors and make a video about that. I've never really seen a video done about the thing I was going to try, because like scrapyards have different categories for electric motors. So like if you took like a transformer and a grinder, or a circular saw with a cutting blade, any kind of cutting blade, and you just chopped off the copper windings that are visible and took that copper and then just left it alone, you know, you could do that just in a matter of 30 seconds, you know. And if you talk to your scrapyard, they might have like another category for dirty motors, or they might even just let you sell them, you know, buy them from you just as motors, still electric motors, because there's copper in it. They should have some kind of CBM category, which stands for copper bearing material. They should buy that from you. I don't know, those of you that know what a transformer looks like, it's plates of steel, and it's got copper wires wrapped around inside of it. So as long as there's copper in it, they still should buy it from you. So I think that might be a real good way to get some copper. I know E-Waste Ben, if you ever watch E-Waste Ben's videos, I'll link his channel up down in the description. He has been talking about saving copper and gold for a long time, and it's more true now than ever. Okay, get one of these dogs ready. How's that on there? It's got some little tabs on there. I've never seen little tabs before. Look at it. Kind of interesting. Some garbage. Well, there we go. Get off of there. Two of them. Okay. Now we're cooking. They call these ACR ends at your scrapyard. There should be a separate category for these once I cut them off. I was gonna buy the name brand at Walmart, but I saved 10-15 bucks and got this Hyper Tough. All the specs are the same. I don't know if I'm costing myself in the long run or not, but I'm gonna find out. And I bought 3 metal cutting wheels. These are actually designed to cut metal. The one that comes with it standard, this was not with it. I bought that separate. This is a grinding wheel. I don't know if the grinding wheel is enough to go through the copper pipe or not. It probably would be, but I'm just gonna skip that and go straight to the cutting wheel. I know without a doubt this will go through it like butter. So there's what a metal cutting wheel looks like compared to a grinding wheel that you would buy if you bought a grinder. If you're scrapping, you're probably going to pick up some of these little thin cutting wheels. Alright. And you just zap it down with that, I guess. should be self-tightening, I would suspect, huh? Once you get it tightened, I don't think it can come loose. That'll do the trick. Okay, I kind of like my circular saw better actually, because it's bigger. The wheels like that. It's got about the same cutting distance. That should be big enough. Yeah, that's plenty big enough to go through there. So like if you go to a scrapyard, you might see them. They have big giant grinders, big giant cutting wheels, like huge, great big machines. And I'll just take a stack of these ACRs and just rip right through them real quick. I hit the metal. Started raining right when those sparks came out. That was weird. I started getting hit in the back of the head with water. I hit the steel. So copper and aluminum won't spark, but steel and iron and tin will. That was weird when the sparks hit. I started getting hit in the back of the head with water. That was an odd sensation. Okay. So it's gonna look something like that. It's not bad. It's probably gonna be hot. That's not bad. That's called ACR Ends. So you can take that to the scrapyard, and they should have a category specifically for ACR Ends. Like I was saying, I used to take the time to chop all the copper bits off with my hand snips and clean it up that way. But it's hard on your hands, and these little pieces of copper don't weigh a whole lot. I suppose if you wanted to just take your grinder, like these are kind of small ones, but on these bigger ones, if you really wanted to, I suppose you could just go like this. Seems to work pretty good. So that's definitely worth it. A+ for power tools, or thumbs up, whatever I'm trying to say. Those are some hot little boogers. So that's definitely worth it. A little different story. Like I was saying, I used to just go like this, take them all off, and then pound this piece of metal off of her, like so. You could get that off there eventually, but those pieces of copper get jagged, and you just gotta wrestle it. So I don't know. I'm getting old, or don't need the money as bad anymore, but the power tool seems like a nice option these days. That one's being a little booger. There it is. See, now the thing is though, once you take off those copper bits, That's just gonna be a piece of tin at the scrapyard. So I don't know if you gain a whole lot. You know what I mean? You probably gain a little bit, and doing it that fast, it's probably still worth it. But that just becomes a piece of tin now. That's kind of the same theory I was talking about. Those transformers, I'll make a video about here in the near future. Take out all the copper off that steel, and the steel goes from like 10-15 cents a pound for electric motor all the way down to 2, 3, 4 cents a pound for tin or steel, whatever the scrapyard gives you. But sometimes cleaning scrap metal, you don't gain as much as you think you would. But in cases like this, you're definitely gaining a substantial amount. You don't want to forget your eye protection doing this. As you can see, I left a screw in there. I don't want one of those pieces of metal popping up, smacking you in the eye. That would be bad. So I'm just gonna go ACR ends on these little ones. I don't think there's a whole lot of value in messing around. I'm not gonna get a lot of copper off. Oh shoot, moron. Should have done that before I took it off. Anyway, so you got the idea. Okay, ACR cake. I'm gonna have a triple layer, quadruple layer ACR cake here in a minute. Okay. Too busy making a video, not thinking about what I'm doing. Some hot pieces of copper. Okay. ACR ends. Okay. There's actually enough copper left on that one, and aluminum. Scrapyard might be okay with that being still ACR ends. You can talk to your scrapyards about how they want to do stuff, but there's some nice copper nubs on there. Still weighs enough probably, as opposed to throwing it in the tin shed. Definitely an eye protection project. One of those hot pieces of steel come up and hit you in the eye. So I'm gonna have a nice little, a couple pounds of that stuff there. Not bad. Okay, ACR cake being created. There we go. So that's 15 pounds, 12 pounds, 15 pounds, give or take. Okay, this is a screwdriver job. It happens to be the exact same kind of head on it, even though it's got screwdriver marks on it, so it's still a nut. I should find out what size this is so I can tell you. Not sure if you scrap. I don't need to tell you what size that would be. You'll find out pretty quick. That's the one you want to keep in your tools, on your belt or on your rig, because there's tons of stuff out there that are that size. The majority of stuff I find doing what I do anyways, is gonna be this size or a different size. There's two that I think I've only ever used out in the field. So I just went and took all the tin off of there. Nice piece of copper on here. I ran into a frozen screw on that one. So when I run into a frozen screw, I just go and take off all the other ones until it gets to a point where the one that's frozen is in a position where I can just twist on it. You know what I mean? Because this stuff just starts falling apart. And then when the frozen screw is the last screw standing, it really has no other option other than break loose. Let's see here. Okay, nice piece of copper on there, real nice. I'm gonna have to go get my utility cable cutters and I'll cut through right there. That's a nice chunk of copper. Run out of light. Speed this up for you. That's another piece of copper. That's a nice chunk there. It's a real nice chunk. Okay. So the last one, it's a big one too. It's a good one. Oh boy. It's 2 or 3 times the weight of those smaller ones. Okay. It's got some decent bits there. I'll get to. Look how much smaller that cutting blade is. I was wondering why I wasn't making it all the way through there on the copper. And then this one's even worse. I'm gonna have to put a new blade on there to get through there because it's too wide. That thing is real dull now. Maybe you could buy a more durable brand. It was only $3 for a pack of 3. So it's not real expensive, but those wore down fast. I can't imagine if you were cutting through something besides copper and aluminum, how fast they'd wear down. So maybe Hyper Tough's not the brand you want for cutting blades, cutting wheels. But you got the idea. I'll put a new cutting wheel on there and zip through here. I'm out of light. By the time 5-10 minutes, it's just basically gonna be dark for the camera. So I've got quadruple layer cake. It's nice ACR cake. What do you think about that? Let's I'm gonna claim 30 pounds, 35 pounds on that. 30 pounds, at least 30 pounds. We'll claim 30. A couple pounds of ACR Ends, and gonna be some bigger ones. So, take this copper off here. I'm gonna go get my utility cutters actually and show you that one last thing. GoPro's not quite as good as the human eye. I could stay out here for another 20 minutes and work just fine. But the GoPro's pretty much done right now. I'll try to lighten this up on video. I'll show you this one last thing. This is one of my favorite tools. Utility cable cutters. It's like what utility workmen will use to cut through copper power lines, aluminum phone lines and stuff. It just makes doing something like that so much easier. See how easy that came off there? Just like a hot knife through butter. Okay, so then we got maybe 2 pounds of copper are gonna come off there. And here's some more copper bits. I might have maybe 3 pounds of copper came off there when it's all said and done. Those ones. I'll take those off there too, probably. So, 3 pounds copper. Let me know in the comments what prices are like for everyone out there, where you live and stuff. That'd be interesting to find out. I know I live in an area where it's generally on the low side of normal, but I think a lot of the scrap prices, it depends on where you live around the country, United States anyways. If you're closer to like the Gulf of Mexico, or you're up north or something, I think the further away the scrap has to go to the ocean or to a major transportation facility like a railroad or something, maybe. I think that has a lot to do with the prices, you know, transportation costs. But anyways, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I know I'm out of light. I apologize. Hopefully that light right there is helping quite a bit though. What am I forgetting? I guess that's it. What? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm forgetting. If you do this out in public, please, please, please make sure you pick up all these tire poppers. These ruin a bicyclist day or motorcyclist day. It's really not big enough to go through a car tire. Car tires will probably just spit those out. But those are tire poppers. I'll make sure I clean all those up and clean up my mess. But I'm out of light. I sure hope you enjoyed this show. And as always, thanks for watching. I bet you can probably see my thumb better right there. What if I go like this? Make a thumbnail. It's too dark to make a thumbnail. Okay. I'll get this mess cleaned up. Got myself a new toy. Oh shoot, I gotta do that still, don't I? Never mind. I'll go get the scooter.